sophomore from Winthrop, Minnesota, number 34, Scott Springer. At the other forward, a 6'5" junior from Blaine, number 22, Tim Remy. At center, a 6'7" freshman from Wayzata, number 44, Hal Jarnowski. And a guard, a 6'2" junior from Nesterville, Iowa, number 30, Dean Kessler. And a guard, a 5'11" senior from Key West, Florida, number 10, Captain Orion Thurston. Head coach of the Huskies, Butch Freeman, and his assistant, Kevin Slagle.
Here's Orion Thurston going to the free throw line, the dribble, and then he lost it. OT went up for the jump shot, but it was slapped away by Scott Chaboti, who comes up with the steal, and the Saints get the basketball coming back the other way. Chaboti dumps it off, right side for Todd Stein. Now out on top, here's center John Erickson. On the left wing side to Horner, back out to Chaboti, the point guard. Now to Horner, left wing side. Second leading scorer for the Saints last year. A 6'3" forward, dribbles into the corner, then bounces it back out on the wing to Stein. Now to the point, Chaboti. Back to Horner, left wing side, dribbles around. Remy down the baseline and banks it in. Nice strong move by Horner. Not real good defense by Tim Remy. And the Saints have the early 2-0 lead. Huskies into the front court. Both teams starting out initially in man for man. The Saints should stay that way most of the night. Remy, front court, left wing for the Huskies. Long bounce pass back out to the point. Here's Thurston. Dumps it off, right corner to Kessler, now down low. Remy, turnaround fadeaway 12-footer, very short on the rim. Ball goes out of bounds, scrambling for Stein, trying to save it, but he can't. So the Saints lose the ball, the Huskies will keep it, and they'll pass in from their own baseline. Just underway, 58 seconds into our first half of play, 2-0 St Scholastica. Pass in Huskies baseline. Thurston gets it in. Charnowski left block. Fakes 3 times, then puts up a jump shot. Banks it up and off. No good. Gets his own follow-up and puts that one off the back rim. And the rebound comes to the Saints. 2 good opportunities for Charnowski, but they wouldn't go down. Now Chaboti dribbles into the front court. The 5'9" point guard for the Saints. Now Horner has it near the timeline. He's guarded by Remy. Gets it off for Erickson, the big center, who comes beyond the top of the circle to get that pass. Back out to Stein. Horner now down low on the left wing to Chaboti. He looks into the lane, dribbles back along the arc to the point, hands it off to Stein between the circles. Right side perimeter pass way near the sidelines. Now Horner dribbles, penetrates, dumps it off, and Radosevic traveled. Good penetration there by Horner to the right baseline, but his bounce pass back to Radosevic might have caught Kim a little bit unexpected, and he turned it over. Huskies now will pass it in. St. Cloud State missing its first 3 shots from the field so far. Thurston now is into the front court. Gets it off. High post. And back out on top. Thurston, right wing to Dean Kessler. Looks in. Dribbles with the left hand along the arc. Brings it back out between the circles. Here's Thurston. He runs the show for the Huskies. The only senior on this club. Penetrates. Tries a 13-foot fadeaway and puts it down. Orion Thurston, mid-jumper. We're tied at 2. Just over 3 minutes. I'm sorry, just over 2 minutes now to this ball game. 17:50 left. There's a long pass in against pressure, and the Saints throw it away as Charnowski chases the ball down into the back court. Chased that ball down about 30 feet after it was thrown errantly against the pressure. So the Huskies' full court press pays its first dividends of the night. St. Cloud State is back the other way. Kessler has it left wing, puts up a 3, that rims out, no good as he shot that one over Stein, and then Todd Stein came in and got the rebound for St. Scholastica. Kessler now, he knocks it away from Stein. Steal created. Springer ahead to Kessler. That was a gambling defensive play by Dean Kessler as he knocked it away from behind as Stein was dribbling towards the timeline. That ball scooted into the front court, picked up by Springer, got it back to Kessler. He hit the layup. Huskies have their first lead at 4-2. Backcourt pressure again. And the pass now into the front court comes to Stein as Chaboti broke the pressure on the dribble. Got it off for the Cold Spring native. Stein back to Chaboti. Out on top. Has it knocked away by Thurston. Back to the floor for the ball goes Chaboti as he recovers it. Gets it off for Stein, but it's intercepted. Goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with St. Scholastica. As both Remy and Springer all over the court. The Huskies obviously coming out with a great deal of defensive intensity tonight. That's something Butch Raymond thought they lacked in the loss to Minnesota Duluth, but they are buzzing in that full court pressure right now. In the backcourt, and now coming across the timeline on the dribble is Stein, working against Kessler. Stein dribbles to the left side, way out beyond the half-moon line. Now they're working around to the right wing side is Chaboti, whistle, and a foul away from the play underneath. It'll be on Springer, as he was battling for position along with Radosevic underneath. First foul of the night against the 6'5" sophomore Scott Springer. And it'll be a baseline pass in here for St. Scholastica. Pass in right side now. Horner looks in. Loops it way out on top to Radosevich, and he'll leave it for Chaboti, who will start the offense. Scott Chaboti, a 5'9" sophomore. Last name spelled Chiabotti. Chaboti, along with Stein, the two guards in this offense. Chaboti has it now. He lobs it into the right corner, knocked away by Remy. A great steal by Remy as he tight-roped the near sidelines and got it to Thurston. Front court now. Kessler sets up, shoots from 19. That's very short. Rebound tapped around, controlled by Chaboti. So the Huskies are unable to turn that turnover into points, but it was a pretty play nonetheless by Tim Remy on the steal. Into the front half, on his dribble now, Chaboti. He's battling closely with Thurston on the dribble. Dumps it off right corner, Stein into Radosevich. Dumps it underneath. Erickson puts it up and missed the layup, but he was fouled by Charnowski, who got him with the body. Good interior passing there by the Saints as Radosevich, a left-hander, worked from the right block into the lane. Looked as though he might try to shovel up a hook. Instead, he dumped it down low on the left block to Erickson, the center, who was wide open and fouled. Charnowski's foul, his first, and the Huskies' second as a team now so far. And John Erickson, the starting center, a 6'7" junior out of Hawley at the free throw line. His free throw is up and in and out, no good. He has one more coming. 4-2, St. Cloud State leads. 15:53 to go here, first half. Number 41, John Erickson, eyes the rim, puts the free throw up, and it's good all the way. So he makes one of two. The Husky lead is down to one. SCSU into the front court. Thurston has it out top. To Charnowski now, the low left wing side, Remy. Dumps it off, Kessler open. Free throw line jumper. He rings it down. Went back and forth on that rim several times, but finally dropped. Kessler has 4 of the Huskies' 6 points. They lead it by 3. Backcourt pressure once again. Chaboti has it. Left side runs knocked away by Thurston. Recovered by Kessler. Back to OT, and he was fouled. Well, that full court pressure is really paying off right now for the Huskies, who are showing a superiority in quickness right now. Thurston knocked it away from Chaboti. And then Chaboti picked up the foul, the first of the night against Scholastica. And Thurston will be at the stripe here to shoot 2. OT has 2 points so far and a field goal. Orion Thurston, the 5'11" senior who started all 29 games last year, his first with the Huskies. Free throw is good. And free throwing, one of his definite fortes. Shot 87% from the line last year. He ranked 8th in Division II nationally in free throw shooting with that percentage. Second free throw up and good. Thurston and Kessler, the Huskies starting backcourt, have 4 points each. And St. Cloud State leads at 8-3. 15:25 to go, first half. Backcourt pressure again by the Huskies. Pass is knocked away. Stein double team, but he gets it back. Off to Chaboti, and he crosses the timeline, but not in time. As an instant before Chaboti got across the midcourt line, official Tom Perot signaled 10 seconds as that Husky pressure forcing yet another turnover. That's 6 turnovers so far by St. Scholastica, and I'd have to guess that at least 4 of those, as memory serves, were directly caused by the pressure. Into the front court, Huskies. Kessler open, 19 feet away, fires it up, and that's no good. Rims out of there, and Horner has the rebound for the Saints. And the Huskies keep the pressure on full court, even after the missed shot. Stein has it, he's in trouble, but gets into the front court to Radosevich. Radosevich on his dribble down the right side, spins to the right baseline, brings it way back out on top to Chaboti, and he'll start the half-court attack now. Right side, beyond the wing, is Stein. Back to the point, Horner underneath to Radosevich, who missed the layup. A great pass by Horner, but Radosevich could not get the 4-footer to go down. Rebound Springer, clears it now for Thurston in the front court, back to Spring. He puts up a 25. By Springer, who doesn't shoot a lot of those. His second three-pointer at 4 attempts this year. 11-3, St. Cloud State. 7 straight points for the Huskies. In the front court now, John Horner has it. Right side perimeter. He backs in on the dribble against Kessler. Passes back further out of the right side wing to Stein. Bounce pass intended for Radosevich, but knocked away by Springer. Direction Charnowski with the steal, and it's recovered by Remy, who sets up, open, takes the 3. So dribbled in one stride, took the 3-pointer, and there's a timeout in the Huskies. So they're 10 straight points. And they've established a big early lead. It's 14-3, St. Cloud State. Off to St. Scholastica, timeout, backcourt pressure again by the Huskies, but the Saints break it. Is dribbling in the front court is Horner, but then he tripped and lost the basketball. Recovered by Thurston. Misses his way in on the layup and draws the foul. I thought for an instant they might call a charge on OT as he went man for man against Chaboti, who tried to draw the charge, but Chaboti is called for the block. He's got both St. Scholastica fouls, and Thurston now will shoot a pair of free throws.
Second team foul.
Yet another turnover by St. Scholastica, leading to that fast break opportunity for the Huskies. And now Ryan Thurston, who hit 2 free throws earlier this evening, back at the line. OT set to shoot 2 more. First one is up and good. Now, what an effortless free throw shooter he is. We mentioned that he was 8th in the nation last year. And he just is so smooth at the line. Second free throw, dips at the knee, puts it up, puts it in. Piece of cake for OT. He's got 6 points, 4 straight from the line. He's now 11 of 12 at the free throw line this year. 16 to 3 Huskies, 12 straight for St. Cloud State. Front court pressure now, as St. Scholastica running the half-court offense against man-for-man pressure by the Huskies. Chaboti has it, right side perimeter. Passes to his right. Here's Stein, still on the wing. Gets it in for Horner. Back to Stein, top of the key down the lane. Fakes, then dumps it underneath. Radosevich open for the reverse layup. First 2 for Radosevich off a nice feed by Stein. 16-5 now, St. Cloud State. Kessler has it to Sharnowski. His free throw line jumper in and out, no good. And the rebound cleared by the Saints. Now they bring it into the front court with Stein. Dribbles in between 2 Huskies and draws a foul. This will be on Dean Kessler as he reached in going for the steal. First on Dean, 3 on the Huskies as a team.
Number 30, Dean Kessler. That's his first 13th foul.
So the Huskies scored 12 straight points. They had led 4-3. They were up 16-3 before Scholastica was able to get that basket by Radosevich to end that string. Saints have it now, front court, down by 11. Early going here, first half. Open is Horner. Takes the 12-footer and hits it. Got open on the left side. John Horner's second field goal makes it 16-7 SCSU. Thurston, front court, passes down low. Right block, here's Springer. Fakes, he's double teamed, tries to get it off. He does. In the corner to Kessler, and then back way out on top to Thurston. Near the right sidelines. OT on his dribble. Tries to move around Chaboti. Does so. Keeps going on the dribble. And gonna whistle. And the ball might have got knocked out of bounds. Thurston was continuing on his dribble, going down the right baseline, and the official whistled play dead. No foul called, but Butch Raymond uses the stoppage to make a substitution. Stuart Kramer, the 6'4 sophomore, out of Maple Grove into the ball game as he replaces Remy. Long pass in now, out on top, comes to Kessler. He outjumps Stein for the basketball. Leaves it for Kramer. Now an alley-oop attempt is thrown out of bounds, as Thurston wanted to loop it underneath for either Springer or Sharnowski on an alley-oop, but it went out of bounds. Neither of them was even close. Turnover, Huskies. Now backcourt pressure again. Erickson gets a loose ball at midcourt, clears it off, and gets it for Stein now for the Saints. Todd Stein, a 1987 graduate of Rocori High School, clears it off for Horner. Dribbles left to right down the lane. Tried to shovel it off for Erickson. Went between his legs, comes right to Stein. Now back to Erickson. Shoots it from 8 feet out. High lane, no good. Rebound comes to Kessler. Clears it off now for Thurston. Long front court pass for Kramer. Makes a nice controlling play of the basketball. Brings it back out. OT, 20-footer off the back rim. No good. And then a jump ball is called on the rebound. Held ball. It'll go to St. Scholastica on the alternate possession. Well, that was a great play by Stuart Kramer. As he got that long lead pass from Thurston, he really was out of control as the ball led him too far, but he somehow avoided traveling, kept his feet on the court surface, got it back out to OT for that long top-of-the-key jumper. Now Chad Gurman checks in for the Huskies, the pure freshman out of East Central High School in Sandstone, Minnesota. He's in there out of guard for Kessler. Scholastica now breaks the full-court pressure. Horner tries a 12-foot jump shot. No good. Rebound came to Erickson, and he traveled. 8 turnovers now for St. Scholastica. The Saints so far 3 of 5 from the field. The Huskies 6 of 13 unofficially in field goal percentage. Backcourt pressure. Huskies up 16-7. Thurston now breaks the pressure. Passes to the high post. Springer. He's open. Goes down the lane. Shovels it up off balance, but drew a foul. Scott Springer on the left high edge of the lane wheeled to the basket after getting that pass and looked for a backdoor cutter. Nobody was there, but there was nobody guarding him either. So he bolted down the lane and drew the foul, number 3 against St. Scholastica. And this one is on John Erickson. Erickson now will come out of the ball game. And Toby Effinger, a 6'6 sophomore, will check in at center. That means that Scholastica now has an all Duluth Central front line. Radosevich, Horner, and Effinger, all Duluth Central graduates, and they're the front court for the Saints team. Free throw by Springer is up and good. Scott's fourth point. He had a three-pointer earlier. 17-7, St. Cloud State. Huskies up by 10. They've led by as many as 13 so far. Second free throw for the Winthrop native. Scott Springer is up and good all the way. 5 points for Springer, 18-7 now. St. Cloud State, 11:20 to go first half. The Saints throw it away in the backcourt. Sarnowski and Kramer were all over Stein, and he threw it blindly, trying to get some help. But he threw it out of bounds. Another mistake against that full-court press. Chris Baudette now, the 6'9 center, checks in for Sarnowski for the Huskies. And for St. Scholastica, Joe Pearson, a 6'2 sophomore, the only non-Minnesotan on this roster out of Mellon, Wisconsin. He's in at a forward. German has it now off the pass in for the Huskies to Thurston. Running 12-foot jumper, banks it off from a sharp right side angle. Rebound to Baudette, and he puts the follow-up up and in. Chris Baudette on the turnaround follow-up jumper. 20-7 St. Cloud State. The Huskies equaling their biggest lead. Backcourt pressure. Stein now dribbles between three Huskies. Keeps going to the baseline. Fakes and traveled with it. Not Stein, but rather John Horner, the senior forward, who broke that pressure as he just continued to dribble into the front court, but he got underneath and traveled. So the Huskies get it back after turnover number 10 against the Saints. Here's Thurston, front court to German, right wing, takes a dribble, bounce pass down low, turnaround, jump shot, effort by Baudette is no good, it rolls out of there. Came kind of flat on the rim, and the rebound by Radosevich, and here come the College of St. Scholastica Saints now into the front court, trailing by 13, almost to the halfway mark of the first half. Right side pass comes to Pearson. He looks in, dribbles to his left, stops at the top of the key, bounce pass down low. This is Effinger. Clears it back out now. Right side perimeter to Radosevich. Between the circles, Chaboti. Left wing side comes to Pearson. He's working against German. Dribbles to his left on Chad. Gets a step, but doesn't continue. Brings it back out on top. Chaboti now at the point, beyond the top of the key. Dribbles to his right. Bounce pass, high post in the lane. Here's Radosevich. Turns to the basket and brings it back out. Dumps it off left wing side to Horner. He threw it up with 3 seconds left on the shot clock and drew a foul. And I mean, he shoveled that ball up from 23 feet out. A desperation shot, but he was bumped by Kramer. Non-shooting foul as Stuart Kramer just kind of gave him a little jar as he was going behind. There were 3 seconds again left on the shot clock. And I think that Horner probably felt he had to get rid of the ball. Maybe not quite that soon. Pass in now, non-shooting foul. Horner has it left wing, lobs underneath, intended for Radosevich, but deflected out of bounds and last touched by the Saints. So that's another St. Scholastica turnover. Well, you look at the difference in the games of these two teams. The Huskies, up-tempo, they've attempted 16 field goals so far. St. Scholastica, a half-court club, has taken only 6 shots. What a difference. 9:40 to go first half. Huskies leading by 13 in the front court. Nice hanging mid-air move by Kramer down the lane. Basket won't go, but he draws the foul. Stuart Kramer sliced down the left edge of the paint. Put that shot up on the run. Oh boy, and it's on Stuart Kramer as he's called for charging. Well, I still think it was a good move. Just didn't work out. Like to see Stuart aggressive like that going for the basket. His second foul, Huskies 5th. And St. Scholastica now into the front court. 20-7 is our score. 9 minutes, 20 seconds left first half from Hallenbeck Hall. Saints trailing by 13 with the basketball. Pearson has it out near the timeline to John Horner on the left wing. To Chaboti, back to Horner, left wing side, back to Chaboti as the Saints now play catch on the perimeter. Here's Joe Pearson. Horner comes out to the point to get it now to Effinger. Turnaround jumper just inside the free throw line. No good. The ball deflected. Pearson tries a follow-up reverse layup underneath, and he missed that one as well. And now the Huskies have the rebound. Kramer almost lost it in the backcourt, picked off by Thurston. He'll bring it into the front half for SCSU. OT has it, top of the key plus. Backing in on his dribble against Chaboti, dumps it off on the right wing. Here's Kramer, passes in the lane, intended for Baudette, knocked away. Springer picks it up underneath Thurston, he hits the layup. Great pass from out on top by Springer. OT has 8. The Huskies have their biggest lead at 22-7. 8.5 minutes to the half. At halftime tonight, we'll talk to St. Cloud State first-year wrestling coach Rick Gobe. He'll be our guest in our intermission. In the front court, Pearson has it now on the right side perimeter for the Saints. They work it around to the left wing side. Horner, and he is fouled as he began to make his move towards the baseline. That'll be on Scott Springer, his second. So both Springer and Kramer, who oftentimes will share that small forward or three spot, as the coaches will call it, they each have 2 fouls now. And they are both going to come out of the ball game. Thurston also checks out. Kessler is back in. Remy checks back in. He'll play the 3 spot. And Greg Kesty, the 6'7" sophomore out of Eden Prairie, comes in at the power forward for the Huskies. Now Todd Stein checks back in along with John Erickson for the Saints. And they're back to their original starting lineup. And now we've got a foul called after the pass in as they tried to work it in on the bounce to Radosevich, and he was fouled from behind. I believe it'll be Kesty. For Kesty, that's his first foul, just coming into the game moments ago, and that is 17 fouls on the Huskies, so St. Scholastica now into the bonus. Tim Radosevich does most things well in this ball game, in this game of basketball, if you will. Free throw shooting, 33 of 45 on the year so far, and he makes the first. Second free throw coming for the Southpaw at Duluth Central. That one's up and rims out, no good. 22-8 Huskies. Here's Kessler, runs it in the front court, puts up a running 13-footer inside the free throw line, no good. And Chad Gurman sprints out to the midcourt line to bring it back in. Cuts it out for Kesty, who nails the outside jumper. Greg Kesty, who has a nice touch from the outside for a kid who's 6'7", put that one down from about 13 feet out. 24-8 now, St. Cloud State. There's a pass towards midcourt. Kesty knocks it away out of bounds. Intended for Radosevich, and Kesty cut in front of that ball just to the backcourt side of the midcourt stripe. Pass in now, comes to Radosevich. He's trying to beat Kesty. Puts it up with the left hand and scores. Right side layup using the left hand Radosevich. As that time they finally broke the Husky pressure. 5 for Radosevich, 24-10 St. Cloud State. Into the front court in the left corner now with it. Remy clears it back out between the circles. There's Kessler. Dribbles to the left, puts it up from the left wing. It's no good. Rims out of there, and on the rebound, a foul on the Huskies. Radosevich got his hands on the ball, and he was fouled. Dean Kessler having a tough start shooting-wise tonight. He looks to be one of those players who, if he is on, he's very tough to stop. And if he's not having a good shooting night, at least that's the way it's been in a couple of the Huskies games so far this year, including the UMD game. He's got to have that rhythm. He's definitely an outside gunner, and he's not had it so far tonight. The Huskies as a team so far, 9 of 19 from the field. John Erickson was the man fouled, and his free throw is up and good, so he gets the bonus. That makes it 24-11. St. Cloud State, 7:17 to go first half. Free throw by Erickson is up and good. So the Hawley native makes them both. He's got 3. 24-12 Huskies. Kessler now in the front court. Nearly lost the basketball in his dribble near the right sidelines. Gets it off for Baudette near midcourt. He almost stepped on the timeline. So the Huskies right now having a hard time getting into the half court. Gurman has it down low in the right corner, and we've got a foul away from the play. Pushing in the lane against St. Scholastica on, I believe, Radosevich, as he and Kesty jostled underneath. Radosevich, his foul is number 1 against him, 4 on the Saints. Baseline pass, and Gurman gets it, fires away from 20 and nails it. A 2-pointer by Chad Gurman. His first points, 26-12 St. Cloud State. 14-point bulge for the Huskies. Once again, backcourt pressure, but the Saints break it with a long pass ahead to Horner, who goes in and jams it. Good pass ahead by Stein to Horner, who broke the press, got in behind that last wave of defenders for the Huskies. Horner has 6, 26-14 Huskies. Kesty in the lane, puts it up in traffic and draws the foul. Radosevich wanted to travel, but I believe he's going to be whistled for the personal. No, they'll say it's Erickson, his first. 5 team fouls now against the Saints. Now Butch Raymond sends Orion Thurston back into the game. He will replace Chad Gurman. I think for a moment there, the Huskies were a little bit out of sync in their half court because they did not have OT on the court. Gurman and Kessler were their backcourt, and they're both really 2 men. They're both off guards. Now Thurston back in for Gurman, so they've got a floor general out there. Free throw by Kesty is no good. Short on the rim. He's got one more coming. The Huskies leading by 12. 6:32 to go here. First half. Second free throw is good by Kesty. 13-point lead. Backcourt pressure. Bounce pass comes into Stein. He blindly throws it away. Picked off by Thurston. Misses the layup. Tapped up. No good by Baudette, but Chris gets it back and lays it in. Got his own miss, and that time brought it down and went back up with it and shot it. 4 points for Baudette. 29-14 Huskies. Backcourt pressure again. The ball's knocked away and out of bounds. Let's see who got it. Apparently last touch by the Huskies, so the Saints will keep it. St. Cloud State continues to apply the clamps of this full court pressure. 12 turnovers so far for St. Scholastica. The Huskies have had but 5. Point guard Scott Chaboti now behind the timeline, has it knocked away. Intercepted by Thurston, but then OT is called for traveling as he got tied up at midcourt with Radosevich, and Thurston thought that Radosevich should be called for the foul, but rather Thurston called on traveling. And now St. Scholastica wants the timeout as Coach John Noxheim trying to slow his team down, get them back in rhythm. They call the timeout with 6:08 to go first half. 29-14, the Huskies leading. Let's take a timeout ourselves on the Husky Radio Network. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 29, St. Scholastica 14. John Schroeder coming your way from Hallenbeck Hall on the Husky Radio Network. St. Cloud State 2-1 in the year, and the Saints 2-4 this season. Pass in now, the half-court offense for the Saints. Erickson open for the 12-footer from the lane. That comes out of there. Radosevich battling for the rebound, and we've got a foul underneath, and it looks like it'll be against Radosevich. Tim Radosevich sometimes takes with him some of those old football traits that he had with the Huskies onto the basketball court. He's a very physical player who I think the Huskies have felt so far. It looks like they think he might have used the elbows a little bit much. That time called for it. His second, the Saints' 6th foul as a team. Tim Remy back in the ballgame, has it in the front court to the high post. Chris Baudette loops it in the left corner. Here's Kessler. One dribble down the left baseline, then bounces it. Nice pass to the free throw line. Remy off balance, 12-footer. He got it. Good body balance there by Remy. His second field goal. He's got 5. 31-14, St. Cloud State. Huskies with their biggest lead now of 17. On the left side with it, and setting up for the jump shot is Horner. Fires away from 12, low left baseline, no good. Rebound, Kesty for the Huskies. Clears it off. Thurston sprints it in the front court on the dribble. Sets up. 18-footer by OT. Right wing, that's no good. Rebound is loose on the floor. Kesty comes up with it, and he is called for traveling. Kesty off balance in the lane and went sliding down to the floor and was called for the travel by the official. So the Saints will toss it in now backcourt. Here's John Horner playing catch with Tim Radosevich, his old Duluth Central High School mate. Now Horner back to Radosevich in the front court. Tim right in front of the Husky bench. It's knocked away by Remy and chased down near midcourt by Stein. Now he gets it off for Chaboti. Top of the circle plus Erickson. Left side perimeter. Horner rifles it underneath to Radosevich, who misses the layup. Turnaround jump shot underneath, no good. Rebound cleared by Kessler. Ahead to OT. Now to Kessler. Running three-pointer. Right wing. Yes. Yeah, there's that three-pointer for Dean Kessler. A long time coming. He's got 7. 34-14 St. Cloud State. Front court now on the long lob pass. Here's Stein, right side. Bounce pass to the free throw line. Erickson loops it underneath to the right block. Radosevich. He had his shot blocked by Kesty, but a foul is called on Greg. Greg Kesty challenging the shooter, and he got basketball, but also got him on the arm. That'll be 2 fouls now on Kesty. Now into the ballgame for the first time tonight is Mark Carlson. Carlson, the 6'7" sophomore out of Fort Dodge, Iowa. He'll replace Baudette at center. At the free throw line is Radosevich. Free throw, no good. One more coming for the senior forward. Haug Charnowski now will come in, and he'll spell Kesty. So Kesty comes out with 2 fouls. He'll likely sit the rest of the half. Keep in mind that this Husky team's still a very young club. They had the year of experience last year, but these non-conference games are so valuable in allowing them to try to find their place in basketball here on the collegiate level. Second free throw, no good by Radosevich. Huskies back down the other way. Remy's shot is blocked by Horner. Remy gets it back, gets it out for Kessler. Kessler, who nails the three from the top of the key. 10 points for Kessler on his second consecutive three-pointer. The Huskies continue to extend their lead. They're now up by 23, 37-14. Intercepted pass, Remy ahead to Thurston, all by himself. Has his shot blocked from behind by Horner. What a great play by John Horner as he avoided the foul, and then a foul is called on the Huskies. Whoa, was that an athletic play by John Horner, the 6'3 senior forward. Thurston created that steal. Remy shoveled it ahead to OT, who was all by himself. It looked like Thurston, who I don't know if he can jam or not. It looked like he was going to try at 5'11". And Horner came from behind, swooped in, and pinned that ball off the backboard. St Scholastica recovered, and then Chabot was fouled by Thurston, who tried to get it back. Chabot's free throw is up, in and out, no good, but he gets a second free throw automatically here because that is team foul number 10 against Thurston and the Huskies. Chabot, who has yet to score. Second free throw is up and no good. Rebound to Radosevic, and he missed the follow-up layup. Tim Radosevic has missed 3 easy close-in layups here tonight. Remy has it. Now Kessler tries the three, right wing, high off the back rim, no good. Rebound tapped out to Kessler. Takes a dribble, he'll shoot another three. 20 feet away and nails it. Well, if at first you don't succeed, that's 3 out of his last 4 three-pointers that Kessler has made, helping the Huskies blow this one open. 40-14 now with 3:25 left first half. Stein has it in the front court for the Saints. Dishes off on his left wing side. Horner dribbles around Remy, who tried to knock it away from behind, but Remy called for the foul. Remy was beaten on the move to the basket, and then he tried to recover, but picked up the foul. Remy's foul is his first of the night. And at the free throw line now will be Horner. Orion Thurston will come out for the Huskies, as will Remy. And a couple of fresh bodies come in. Stephen Lee, the redshirt freshman guard, and Brian Ackervick, the junior guard, who played in high school along with Todd Stein of the Saints. Free throw by Horner is up and good. That's his first free throw of the night, his 7th point, 40-15. Second free throw is up and also good by Horner. Brian Ackervick was a junior the year that Todd Stein was a senior at Ricori. That team was a regional finalist, as we'll tell you about when time permits. 40-16 Huskies. Kessler has it front court. Dishes off right side. Carlson. Power move down the right baseline and banks it in. Boy, Mark Carlson looked like he was not to be denied on that move to the basket. 42-16 Huskies. Pass in the front court. Horner lobs underneath, intended for Erickson, knocked away by Czernowski. It goes off the backboard, recovered by the Huskies. Lee down the middle, 3-on-3. Stephen Lee takes it all the way, missed it. Tapped up by Czernowski, no good. A lot of contact underneath, no foul. Erickson throws it away. Czernowski intercepts, puts it up, no good. Erickson cleared the board, and Czernowski is called for the foul. So lots of opportunities for the Huskies, but that particular time down court, the ball just would not go down. And Czernowski called for his second foul. Fouls can be a good and bad thing in basketball. A lot of fouls obviously will get you in trouble, but if you have excessive fouling, you know that at least your team is going after it defensively. The Huskies have 12 team fouls this first half. Free throw by Erickson is up and good, but I really believe that Butch Raymond would be encouraged by that because his players are aggressive on the defensive end almost to a fault tonight. Second free throw by Erickson, rolls around and drops. He makes them both. Erickson, all 5 of his points coming from the line tonight. Chris Baudette checks in now for Czernowski. For the Huskies, Haug, Scott Springer, Stuart Kramer, and Greg Kesty all have 2 fouls each. So nobody in big trouble yet, but a lot of people teetering on the brink. 2:35 to go first half. Huskies up 42-18. Front court for SCSU. Kessler, right side perimeter, leaves it at the high post. Baudette, now to Ackervick, dribbles down the left edge of the paint, scoops it back out on top to Lee. Right side wing, Kesty passes underneath, or Kessler, I should say, got it to Baudette, and he was tied up in the lane. Held ball as Baudette was tied up, I believe, by Joe Pearson, who just entered the game at a forward for the Saints. Held ball goes over to the Huskies on the alternate. 24-point bulge right here for the Huskies. Baseline pass in, comes into Baudette, 6-foot fadeaway, count it. Nice pass in from Lee, and Baudette hit the fall-away jumper from the left baseline. He's got 6. 44-18, St. Cloud State. Huskies equal their biggest lead. Backcourt pressure again. And the ball knocked out of bounds, this time by Kessler, but the Saints will keep it with 2:07 to go first half. Lob pass in. Radosevic off to the races. Banks it up and lays it in. Radosevic working up a pick. Got himself free and broke the pressure on the pass in. He's got 7. And a whistle, backcourt foul, as Lee was bumped in the backcourt by, I believe, Shibodi. That'll be the 3rd foul on Scott Shibodi, 7th team foul against the Saints, so that puts the Huskies into the bonus. And now Shibodi, one fine young Italian man, will be replaced by another. Phil Appicelli comes into the ball game to replace Shibodi. Appicelli out of Barnum. 6-foot junior, Appicelli. Well, I bet his family can cook. Free throw is no good by Lee. Rebound comes down to Scholastica. Held ball once again called. This time goes over to the Saints. St. Scholastica passes it in. Appicelli gets it off. And a pass by Horner deflected out of bounds. But it stays with the Saints. Pass in now to Phil Appicelli. He's in the backcourt. He's in at the point. Over the timeline on the dribble. Dishes off on his left side. Here the hash mark to Radosevic. Now they work it around on the right wing side. Appicelli to the high post. And now off to Horner. He takes a long 3-point attempt. That didn't even draw iron. Went off the backboard. Recovered by the Huskies into the front court. Kessler tries a 3. Low right wing. No good. Long rebound comes out to Appicelli. So with a minute and a half to go first half, the Saints get it back, trailing by 24. Into the front court, Pearson between the circles now to John Horner. Gets it off for Appicelli. Dribbles to his right, lobs underneath the Horner, cutting through the lane, gets the ball and hits a 10-foot fadeaway. Well, he's shown nice body control, good athleticism. John Horner with 10 points, 44-22 Huskies. Wide open, Kessler, right corner, yes! Three-pointer, his 4th of the half by Kessler. He's got 16, 47-22, just like that. Dean Kessler has come alive here in the second part of the first half, and now he creates a steal. Gets it off for Lee, back to Kessler, right sidelines, Huskies with it with 45 seconds left in the half. And leading by 25, they're almost their biggest lead of the night. Kessler tries another 3 for the right wing. That's no good. And the rebound is recovered by Horner. So the Saints now, if they would so choose, will have a chance at the final shot of the half. Appicelli works it into the front court on the dribble. Gets it out for Horner. Running 10-footer, right wing is good, and a foul called. Basket will count. Foul is on Carlson.
Foul on the Huskies, number 50, Mark Carlson.
First foul of the night on Mark Carlson. 13 team fouls this half against the Huskies. John Horner, who just hit his 5th field goal, he's got 12 points. And Radosevic was the man fouled away from the play, so he'll shoot 2. Free throw is no good by Radosevic. Tim's had a tough time at the line so far, 1 of 5. Left-hander gets set for his second free throw. It's up and good. Makes this one.
Number 51.
Radosevic with 8 points. 47-25 Huskies. Across the timeline comes Stephen Lee with 20 seconds left in the half. Chad Gurman, left wing. Bounce pass out on top comes to Akravic. 15 seconds to go. To Lee. Now to Gurman, left side on the wing. 10 seconds remaining. Lobs to the high edge of the lane. Carlson back out to Gurman. Here's Stephen Lee between the circles. 5 seconds to go. High post. Baudette out to Gurman. Off a pick. 24 good. 3-pointer. An instant before the buzzer for Chad Gurman. And a nice way to end a very strong first half for the Huskies. And a very easy to remember halftime score. An intermission in St. Cloud State 50. St. Scholastica 23. You're listening to St. Cloud State Identification on the Husky Radio Network.
At 9 o'clock, 32 our temperature here in St. Cloud. We could see a low near 15 tonight under partly cloudy skies, high near 39 tomorrow. This is AM 1240 WJON St. Cloud.
Pass in for the Huskies now to start the second half off the alternate possession. St. Cloud State leading St. Scholastica 50-25. Pass from Orion Thurston down low and fouled is Charnowski. Looked like OT, the point guard, and Hug Charnowski, the big forward center, were going for the alley-oop there, or at least a lob pass down to the block where Charnowski could have an easy layup. But he was bumped and fouled underneath. First foul of the second half is against St. Scholastica's John Erickson, their center, who picks up his 3rd. Pass in, Springer has his shot blocked to the right baseline. Horner got a hand on it and knocked it away. Now in the backcourt, the Saints almost lose it. Stein starts his dribble ahead, and he is fouled by Kessler. Dean Kessler's first, correction, his second foul of the night. The Huskies first this half. Official stats now in. Field goal percentage, 45%, 18 of 40. First half for the Huskies, 44%, 8 of 18 in the first half for the Saints. Three-point range, Huskies 7 of 11, the Saints 0 of 1. From the line, 7 of 9 for the Huskies, 9 of 16 for the Saints. Now Scholastica back the other way, and Tim Radosevich makes a quick move to the right baseline, puts the layup over two Huskies and in. He's got 10 points. It's 50-27, St. Cloud State. First half rebounds officially 18 aside. And now we've got a foul as Dean Kessler working to the right baseline, trying to fight his way through a pick. And it'll be the foul on Radosevich, his third now. So Coach John Nuxheim has three of his starters, Tim Radosevich, John Erickson, and Scott Chaboti with 3 fouls each. Pass in, Kessler, running jumper from the lane, he banks it in. Well, he put that one high over one of the Saint players and used the glass to bank it in. Kessler leading all scorers with 18, 52-27 SCSU. Thurston now knocks it away on the full court pressure as he knocked it out of the hands of Chaboti and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Saints. Quick second half substitution now as Kevin Demaris comes in. He's a 6'2 forward who checks into the ball game for the Saints. And Demaris now comes in at a forward. Radosevich has it. He speeds into the front court, shovels it off, whistle, and a foul is called. And flying into the first row of the cheerleaders is Dean Kessler, who was called for that foul, trying to stay up with the speedy Tim Radosevich on that move to the basket.
That's his third personal, second team foul.
So that's a couple of quick fouls against Kessler this half.
Number 54.
He's got 3 personals. Charnowski, no, check it. Springer comes out now for the Huskies, and Greg Kesty checks in at a forward. Pass into the right corner, wide open off a pick as Horner fires away from 20, no good, and Orion Thurston goes sky high for the rebound. Fires it in the front court now to Kessler. Right wing dribbles to the line, puts it up from there off the back rim, and the long rebound is cleared by Chaboti for the Saints. 52-27. Each team has had a basket early on here in the second half. We're about a minute and a half into second half play. Pass to the left wing comes to Demaris. The newly entered forward dumps it off to Erickson. Free throw line, turnaround jump shot, in and out, no good. Battle for the rebound. Radosevich going after it along with Kesty, and Radosevich finally got it, but off balance he did on the baseline and traveled. So the Saints turn it over. Officially, St. Scholastica had 16 first half turnovers, number 1 here this half. Backcourt pressure by the Saints, but it's kind of a token pressure by Chaboti. And man-for-man Thurston dribbles by him and into the front court. OT tried to dump it off in the left corner for Kessler. It was knocked away by one of the Saints and out of bounds. So it'll be a pass in now for St. Cloud State. In the left corner of their offensive zone, Thurston will look to get it in. Loops it underneath for Charnowski, who tried to go over Radosevich, but it was intercepted by Horner. Ahead to Radosevich on the pass and blocked out of bounds by Remy. Whoa, what a defensive play by Timmy. Oh. We saw a great play by Horner earlier in the ballgame in the first half when he pinned the ball off the backboard on a fast break by Thurston. That time, Radosevich all by himself, but Tim Remy, who at 6'5", has great leaping ability, came over to knock that one away, and timeout on the court. Went to the line, nailed both free throws off that time, and the Huskies bring it into the front court, and Remy is fouled on the out on the outside. The foul is against Demaris. That's the third team foul against the Saints this half. Bounce pass in. Kesty.
Greg Kesty.
A turnaround that is laid it in off the pass in from the baseline by Thurston. Kesty's got 5. 54-29, St. Cloud State. Now working out of the perimeter here is Radosevich. A little bit out of control as he dribbles it down the lane, gets it back. Throws it out on the left-hand side. Corley shovels it back to Radosevich on the left block. He put it up and missed it, but threw the foul from Kesty. So Radosevich will go back to the line.
Ball called on the Huskies Craig Kesty.
For Kesty, that's 3 personal fouls. We talked a little bit about Todd Stein, who graduated in 1987 from Rocori, the off guard for St Scholastica. That was the year before Rocori went unbeaten and won the state championship with a team led by St. Cloud State's Brian Ackerville. Free throw by Radosevich, no good off the back rim. Stein, his senior year, played with people like Brian Ackerville and Jeff Voigt and all those other great Spartan players who went on to have that unbeaten state championship season. He played with them when Stein was a junior and all those other guys, or Stein rather was a senior and those other players were juniors. And that year before the Spartans went unbeaten, they went to the regional championship and lost to Moorhead with Stein leading that team. Second free throw is no good off the back rim by Radosevich. Rebound of the Huskies and the foul called. And it may have been a bench technical foul here. Apparently a foul is called on the bench against St. Scholastica. It looked like John Knoxheim, the head coach, is whistled for the technical. So Thurston shooting the Huskies technical free throws. First one, no good. Just OT's second missed free throw this year in 13 opportunities. Second free throw is good. OT's first point of this half, 9 in the night. Getting back to Todd Stein, his older brother Terry, like Todd, began his collegiate career at Fergus Falls Community College and both transferred to St. Scholastica after 2 years. Terry ended up at Minnesota Morris, whereas Todd ended up here at St. Scholastica. And Todd's younger brother Troy this year is, for a second straight year, the starting point guard for Coach Bob Brink and that Rocori basketball team. Huskies attack the basket, and down the left baseline in the drive goes Thurston to lay it in. Banked it in off the glass. 11 for Thurston. Mid-court steal by the Huskies, and the foul is called on Springer as he cut in front of Radosevich to knock that ball away. Springer went high and knocked it away. His momentum carried him into Radosevich, and Springer is called for his third foul. 5 team fouls now on the Huskies this half. 57-29, St. Cloud State, just under 17 minutes remaining in this ballgame. In the front court now with Kevin Damaris. He's got it on the right wing. Looks in, brings it to the high post. Here's Erickson. Cuts it off for Shibodi down the left edge of the paint. Shibodi lays it in with the left hand. A little point guard with his first points tonight. 5'9" sophomore makes the layup. It's 57-31. Huskies set it up for the three-pointer by Kessler. Right corner, that's way off the mark. And Shibodi at 5'9" went up high for that rebound. He clears it off, and he'll bring it in the front court himself. Shibodi, through 6 games coming into this ball game, only 3 assists, despite the fact that he is the point guard for the St. Scholastica team, so he's still learning as a sophomore. He's got it now beyond the top of the key. Shibodi dribbles to his right now between the legs to the top of the edge of that key circle. Gets it off for Horner, who fires away from 15, no good. Rebound by Damaris, no good. Gets his own follow from the right block, and a whistle is called. Gonna have a foul on the Huskies. As Damaris working hard on the lead, picks up the foul. Looks like it'll be on Scholastica. It'll be his third. 6 team fouls on the Huskies. Stuart Kramer now will come into the ball game for St. Cloud State. 7 of the Saints' 14 players are from the city of Duluth, where St. Scholastica is located. 13 from Minnesota, 1 other from Wisconsin. And that's forward Joe Pearson out of Mellon, Wisconsin, who has played some so far tonight for the Saints. Free throw by Damaris is no good. He's got another one coming. And even 16 minutes left. St. Cloud State leading by 26. 57-31. Second free throw no good. The rebound is torn off there by Sharnowski. Gets it off to Thurston in the front court. OT has it. Top of the circle. A dribble. A 16-footer in and out. Won't go. Rebound comes down to Horner. He clears it ahead for Radosevich on the break. Radosevich goes in and slams it home. They're the top 2 guys, Horner and Radosevich. Horner on the rebound, Radosevich on the basket. And now in the backcourt pressure, the Saints knock it away from the Huskies, who will pass it in the backcourt. Springer has it. Way behind the timeline. Hands it off for Thurston, who is bothered by Shibodi. And OT dribbles around him into the front court now for the Huskies. Thurston, right side wing, looks in. Bounce pass into the right corner. Stuart Kramer, who's re-entered the ball game. Now to Springer at the free throw line. And the lane had it stolen away from behind by Horner, who starts at 2-on-2. Horner down the middle on the break, puts it up. Hey, middle jumper is good. 6 feet out. Horner with a good basket. His first 2 this half. He's got 14 on the night. And double dribble is called against Thurston. An instant before OT got it into the front court. He double dribbled, and Brooks Raymond has seen enough. The St. Scholastica making a mini run. It looks like the Huskies have lost a little bit of their edge here. And the Huskies are going to call a timeout with 15:09 left. 57-35 is our score. St. Cloud State on top. Well, earlier this week, Chris Cooper, a senior from Morristown College, was named the West Madison, Iowa, would have 2 school records in scoring 50 from 96 in overtime on Tuesday. And Wisconsin lacrosse down Southwest State of Marshall 76-63. The Mustangs of Southwest State will host the Huskies in St. Cloud State's next game Saturday night. Game that we'll broadcast live. Pass in now off the St. Cloud State timeout. With the basketball in the front court is Kevin Damaris for St. Scholastica. Gets it out on top to Horner. He tried to force it in the lane to Radosevich. Knocked away. Thurston with the loose ball. In the front court to Springer. Has his shot blocked by Horner. Springer goes up for the jam, and Horner rejected it cleanly. That is 2 impressive blocks tonight for the 6'3 John Horner, who's quite a leaper. Springer, of course, can really spring, and Horner went right up with him. Now Horner back the other way and nails an outside jumper. Well, you talk about doing it at both ends of the court. Horner now with 16 points. Huskies in the front court. Gurman down the right baseline. Shovels it in the lane for Sarnowski. His power move, and he missed the layup. And Haug went down hard, and he is writhing in pain. Into the front court now comes St. Scholastica as Sarnowski is left suffering on the floor, and play goes on. Scholastica has it in the front court to Morris with an off-balance jumper, and he hits it underneath the Husky basket. Haug is up and all right off the court. 57-39 is our score. The Huskies leading with 14 minutes left as St. Cloud State now enters the front court. Orion Thurston, the senior point guard, has it. Dumps it off. Gurman open for an 18-footer left wing, no good. Rebound, a battle as Kramer going after the loose ball, and he is fouled by Damaris. 4th foul at St. Scholastica this half. Kevin Damaris picks up his 2nd. And now Stuart Kramer, or will it be Thurston? It'll be OT. He'll pass it in from the right baseline for the Huskies. Trying to work on this St. Cloud State 18-point lead. Bounce pass in. Thurston trying to get it to Springer, who makes a nice play, diving after a loose ball to knock it back out on top to Gurman, and the Huskies keep possession. Thurston, top of the key, goes down the lane, shovels it off for nobody. As he tried to bounce it in the left corner for Gurman, but he wasn't thinking on the same page that OT was, and that bounced harmlessly out of bounds. Turnover, Huskies. Here's a quick pass, front court to Maris, all by himself, lays it in. Huskies got burned on the full court pressure. Now down to a 16-point St. Cloud State lead, 57-41. Thurston, front court, draws the foul. That'll be on Phil Appicelli, who has checked back in after playing some in the first half. Gurman comes out, and Dean Kessler back in at a guard for the Huskies. And for St. Scholastica, coming out of the ball game is Damaris. And it looks like John Erickson back in at center. Pass in for the Huskies. Out to Stu Kramer. He'll hand it off near the timeline for Thurston, who's on the dribble, working that half-court high-low offense for the Huskies. Passes off. On the low left wing, here's Kessler, and a foul is called. This one will be on Horner, who reached in. You might recall that official who just had that altercation with St. Cloud State coach Brooks Raymond, Jay Salmon. He and his brother worked a game here in the non-conference last year, in which Salmon threatened to give a technical foul to the band for some incident, a noise-making incident of some sort. Can't exactly remember what it was. But boy, did that create a stir here at Hallenbeck. Huskies working around out of Springer. Right baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, Baudette, and he is fouled. Chris Baudette, who has worked hard tonight on the offensive glass for the Huskies. Hasn't always made his follow-up shots, but boy, he's gotten those rebounds, and that means a lot. And that's the 7th foul, 7th team foul this half against St. Scholastica. And that particular foul is on Toby Eppinger, the backup center, who just came back into the game. Chris Baudette at the free throw line. And he will shoot 2. The big burly 6'9" center. Free throw is up and good. Baudette, who started his collegiate career at Tulsa University and then transferred to St. Cloud State. Graduate of Rochester John Marshall High School. 2-time All Big 9 conference pick. All-State his senior year. Second free throw also good for Bo. 59-41 Huskies. To the front court now runs Radosevich. Long pass ahead. Intended for Horner. Knocked out of bounds, and two players scrambled to the court. Horner and Kessler collided. That ball went off Horner out of bounds, and that brings St. Scholastica coach John Knoxheim off the bench. He thought that Kessler should have been called for the foul. Into the front court now. Here come the Huskies. Pass into the left corner. Kessler puts up the jumper under heavy heat. And that shot no good. Rebound controlled by Radosevich. And he'll run it into the front court himself now. Tim Radosevich on the dribble. Passes off on the high post to Ebinger. Now they get it off to Scott Mees, who's just checked in. To Radosevich. Turnaround 16-foot fadeaway, no good from the right side. Rebound to Kramer. Ahead to Thurston. Shovels it left side. Putting up the 15-footer and nailing it is Kessler. Outside jumper by Dean Kessler, who has now hit the 20 mark. 61-41, St. Cloud State. Huskies with 4 straight. Into the front court come the Saints. Pass to Mees. His shot is blocked on the layup attempt by Baudette. Rebound controlled though by the Saints. And they'll set up the half-court offense again. Scott Mees, another Hawley native, along with starting center John Erickson, also from Hawley. Mees into the ball game. He's got it now on the right baseline. Gets it in the lane for Radosevich, and he is tied up by Kramer, and a jump ball is called. And that'll go to the Saints on the alternate possession. Now Kevin Damaris comes back in, as does Chaboti.
Number 43, Kevin Damaris, according to the Saints.
John Horner also back in. 3 substitutions there for the Saints. Huskies currently up by 20, 61-41 with 11:52 left to go. High school basketball final in tonight. St. Cloud Apollo a winner as they beat Princeton 54-50 in a non-conference game. Pass in now for the Saints. They lose it out of bounds, last touched by the Huskies. So St. Scholastica will keep it with 11:46 remaining. Right side pass in comes to Chaboti. He passes to the high post. There's Radosevich, shovels it through the lane. Erickson open at the left block and banks it in. John Erickson with his first field goal. He had 5 points on free throw shooting in the first half. 61-43 State. Huskies with it, front court. Pass into the lane. Kramer intended for Kessler. Bounced out of Dean's hands and recovered in the lane by Baudette, who banked it in. 8 points for Chris Baudette. 63-43 St. Cloud State. Backcourt pressure. Double teamed as Radosevich fires it in the front court to Horner. He's 2-on-1 with a teammate against Kramer, and Horner shooting over. Stu banks it in. 18 for Horner. 63-45, the SCSU advantage now with an even 11 minutes left. Baudette in the front court, dishes off on the left wing side. Kramer down the baseline, tried to shovel it through the lane, but a whistle and a charging call going against Stu Kramer, who was whistled for his 3rd foul of the night.
Foul call on the Huskies, number 24, Stuart Kramer. That's his 3rd personal.
Ball control foul, I would guess, so no free throws, even though that's the 7th team foul against the Huskies. Now Kramer coming up with a midcourt steal, tried to get it to Kessler, but it was deflected out of bounds.
Number 12.
And the Huskies will keep it. Stephen Lee coming in at a guard now for St. Cloud State. He replaces Thurston at the point. Pass in comes to Dean Kessler. Gets it off for Lee, who has it at the point. Passes to the high post to Baudette. Tried to force it through the lane to Kessler. Knocked away and recovered by Horner. Here comes St. Scholastica. Horner in the front court. Pass deflected at midcourt, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Saints. And now a timeout in the court called by St. Scholastica with 10:38 left. St. Cloud State leading 63-45. Enrollment of 1,900 in the city of Duluth, private NAIA school. They have the ball now. Off that timeout called by Coach John Knoxheim. And they work it around. Down on the left baseline, Horner puts up an air ball, shooting over Kessler. Rebound to Springer. Ahead to Lee. Now back to Kessler in the front court for the Huskies. Dean sets up 3 if it counts. No good, but have been partially blocked by Chaboti. Rebound recovered now. Here come the Saints front court, and they lost it out of bounds. Chaboti was a little bit out of control as he tried to run it up the right sideline, so the Huskies get it back. Backcourt pass in now by St. Cloud State. Freshman Stephen Lee brings it in the front court. Sets up, shoots from 16 off the back rim from just outside the free throw line, and Radosevich clears the board for St. Scholastica. We're halfway through our second half of play. 10 minutes left. 63-45 St. Cloud State. Stephen Lee now with a near midcourt steal as Chaboti lost it off of Lee out of bounds, so the Saints retain possession. And they'll pass it in from midcourt St. Scholastica, which again is in its first year of affiliation with the NAIA. Previously, they had been a member of the National Small College Athletic Association, not too often heard of body. Now Radosevich works underneath and hits a layup. He's got 8 this half, 16 on the night. 63-47 SCSU. Stuart Kramer open from 18 feet out. Left corner jumper is no good. Radosevich has the rebound and he is fouled by Kramer. It's 4 on Stu. And we'll come back to the other end for bonus free throws now. Talking a bit more about St. Scholastica under Coach Noxheim. Last year they were 6th at the National Small College Athletic Association tournament that was held in Flint, Michigan. They were the runner-up in that tourney 2 years ago. Again, the Saints were 18 and 12 last year. But Coach Noxheim feels that going to NAIA, a slightly higher level of play than the National Small College Athletic Association, he'll be able to build a program, perhaps help his recruiting just a little bit. Now, after Radosevich had come up with that rebound, he was not actually the player fouled by Kramer. He was right next to Damaris, who was fouled and misses the free throw. Rebound is Charnowski, who's back in. That's good to see after Haug took that tough spill earlier. Mark Carlson, he puts up an 18-footer, top of the key, no good. Gets his own rebound, no good. Puts up another follow, that's no good, and draws the foul. So Carlson coming off the bench for the Huskies. In limited playing time tonight, working hard on those offensive boards, and he'll go to the line. Foul is on John Erickson, his 4th. And Carlson, who has 2 points on a first-half field goal, will be at the line now for the Huskies. Mark Carlson, who saw action in 28 games, starting in 8 last year as a freshman for the Huskies. He was an all-state performer in both football and basketball at Fort Dodge, Iowa High School. Free throw is up and good. 3 points now for Mark. 64-47, St. Cloud State. Damaris comes out, and Effinger comes in at center for Scholastica. Mark Carlson, who had a very decent chance to go Division I in football to Iowa State, but he chose basketball in the Division II level here at St. Cloud State. Second free throw also good by Mark. 65-47, Huskies with 9:20 remaining. Long pass ahead by Appicelli is knocked out of bounds and ruled St. Scholastica basketball as Charnowski last touched it. Phil Appicelli now in at the point for the Saints. Pass into Radosevich. He's going to work one-on-one against Charnowski. Moves in, tries the layup, and draws the foul. Haug went for the block. Radosevich is not fancy. He's a hard-nosed State before he transferred to this Duluth school, as he's very hard-nosed straight ahead. He looks like the safety that he once was. Free throw by Radosevich is good. He's got one more coming. He now has 17 points tonight. That foul on Haug Charnowski, by the way, was his 4th tonight. 9 team fouls on the Huskies. Second free throw is also good by Radosevich. 65-49. St. Cloud State lead down to 16. That's the lowest total it's been so far this half. Remy works into the lane, pushes up the jump shot, dances on the rim, comes out of there, no good. Thurston chases down the loose ball, rebound left corner. He is hemmed in and stepped on the sidelines. As Shibodi, bothering OT, who lost the ball out of bounds. They gave it to St. Cloud State, but one official ruled stepping on the sidelines. The other one ruled foul on Shibodi. And that official, Don Hoffman, is the one whose ruling will supersede. So it looked for a moment like the Huskies might turn it over. Instead, a foul is called on Shibodi, his 4th of the night. 9 team fouls against both clubs now this half. And Orion Thurston is at the free throw line for the Huskies. And a technical foul is called. And I don't believe that Thurston, who threw up the free throw after that whistle that you might have heard moments ago, is going to count. Even though he made it, I don't think that they'll count it, or will they? A bench technical called, as one of our officials, Tom Perot, not happy with the dialogue coming from Coach John Noxheim. Free throw by Thurston is good. Now, OT will likely shoot 3 free throws here. I take that back. He could shoot as many as 4. The bench technical for 2, and he's also shooting the 1-and-1. Here comes one more. Free throw is up and good. So it's 67-49 now, St. Cloud State. And now Thurston will shoot the 1-and-1. after shooting the 2 technicals and making both those. Now they should put players back onto both sides of the lane and let them shoot the bonus, I would think. No, they won't worry about that, of course, because the Huskies will get the ball back now after the technical free throws. Free throw by Thurston is good. So what I'm assuming here is that they counted that first free throw by Thurston. Well, I'm lost. I counted 3 free throws. There should have been 4 because he was fouled in a bonus situation. Should have had the 1-and-1, and then 2 fouls on a technical, unless that technical was against one of the players for St. Scholastica. In that case, 3 free throws. OT makes them all. The Huskies get possession. And we've got an offensive foul called on St. Cloud State off the pass-in. That'll be on Carlson for setting an illegal block or pick. 10th team foul against the Huskies, so back to the other end we come now for the bonus. And the man fouled, John Erickson, will be at the line. Erickson, the starting center for the Saints, will shoot the 1-and-1. We were talking about area basketball a couple of moments ago. Mankato State 6 days ago beat Wisconsin Stout 102-82, a non-conference win for the Mavericks. That was Mankato coach Dan McCarroll's 400th career victory. Congratulations to him. That was last Friday. Free throw no good by Erickson, but he gets one more as the Saints now into the automatic 2-shot situation after common fouls. The Huskies have now committed 10 fouls this half. Second free throw by Erickson is good, so he makes 1 of 2. 8 points Erickson, 69-50 in favor of St. Cloud State. Open is Kessler, jump shot just inside the lane, no good. Rebound on the right block, Carlson, and he draws the foul. Ebinger fouled Carlson. That's 10 fouls now on St. Scholastica, so Carlson will shoot the automatic 2-shot foul here, even though it was a non-shooting situation.
That's a 10th team foul. Mark Carlson at the free throw line.
St. Scholastica has had 3 straight double-digit win seasons. Free throw by Carlson off the back rim, no good. As we mentioned, the Saints last year were 18-12. 2 years ago, they finished as the national runner-up for the National Small College Athletic Association in the National Basketball Tournament for them. They went 19-10 and the runner-up nationally. And 3 years ago, they were 10-16. Second free throw also no good by Carlson as he misses them both. Rebound to the Saints. They're in the front court. Radosevic threads the needle on a pass to the baseline. Horner almost lost control, gets it back on the dribble, fires it through the lane. Ebinger puts it up off balance with the left hand, no good. Rebound to Radosevic, high in the lane. He dribbles right to left with that left hand. Stops on the left side, brings it back out. Chaboti down low, Horner into Radosevic. Turnaround 10-footer is an air ball, and the rebound by Carlson. Ahead now to Thurston. Further ahead, front court. Kessler pulls up 12-footer, rims out, no good. Rebound comes down to Erickson for the Saints. Backcourt pressure now by Thurston against Chaboti, who comes into the front court, and as he does so, he was bumped and fouled by Remy, who picks up his third. So Chaboti will go to the free throw line. Another Cold Spring native, Greg Stolberger, a junior this year at St. Scholastica, is involved in the baseball program for the Saints. A few area athletes involved in the softball program for St. Scholastica, as we'll tell you in a moment. Free throw by Chaboti, no good. One more coming. Out of Sauk Rapids, Minnesota, Mary Jo Sobiek and Ann Jansen are involved in the Saint volleyball team, as is Foley native Pam Lateral. Jansen also plays volleyball for these Saints. Second free throw by Chaboti is good. He makes 1 of 2. 69-51 now. St. Cloud State on top. Huskies with it. Thurston front court, right wing. Dribbles in the lane, puts up a running 13-footer, no good. And on the rebound, we've got a foul on St. Scholastica. That's going to be on Horner, who reached in against Charnowski and picked up the foul. Some of the other Saint sports programs. Becker native Connie Voigt, a sophomore, is a member of the women's basketball team at St. Scholastica. Out of St. Michael, Minnesota, freshman Kevin Jocelyn is on their hockey roster. Free throw by Charnowski is good. That's Haug's first point of the night. to make it 70-51, St. Cloud State. Talking about hockey, before St. Cloud State went Division I, they would frequently play St. Scholastica, both members of the old Northern Intercollegiate Hockey Association. Second free throw by Haug, also good. He makes them both. Huskies lead again by 20 with 7:40 left. Saints break the full court pressure. Damaris goes in and has his layup attempt blocked by Charnowski. Haug gets a piece of his second attempt as well and then recovers the rebound. What defense by Charnowski. Double blocks and a rebound. Here's Thurston pushing it ahead for the Huskies. 3 if it counts. Right corner. Kessler's shot is blocked nicely by Horner, and then the ball hit the top side of the backboard as Charnowski tried to save it. And that's ruled an out-of-bounds area, so it goes over to St. Scholastica. Backcourt pressure again by St. Cloud State. With it is Horner, rifles it into the front corner. Damaris, 2-on-1 break, leans in and is whistled for the charge. Charnowski was the only man back, and another good defensive play by Haug as he set up to take the charge from Damaris. That'll undoubtedly be a ball control foul, I would think, or is it? No, they're going to say he fouled Haug after the shot was taken. So free throws coming. One other area athlete involved in sports at St. Scholastica on the women's cross-country roster is Victoria Comener out of Annandale, Minnesota. So quite a few central Minnesotans playing sports up in Duluth for this small private college. Charnowski now at the free throw line. Free throw off the back rim, no good. One more coming. We were talking about those ladies from Sauk Rapids, Ann Jansen and Mary Jo Sobiek, and Foley's Pam Lateral playing softball. Lateral was named to the NAIA All-District 13 team last year. Sobiek was named to the All-Tournament team along with Lateral in the national tournament. Second free throw by Charnowski, no good. Back the other way. The Saints work it down low. Erickson tries the layup. That comes out of there, goes out of bounds, and the Huskies were the last team to touch it. So the Saints keep it. Pass in to Radosevic, left baseline. To the point guard, Chaboti now in the right corner. Reverse layup attempt is good as Horner went down the baseline and looped that reverse layup up and over the Huskies. Horner now with 20, 71-53. The Saints come up with a steal, and then we've got a whistle and a foul called as Thurston tried to time a steal to get it back, but he cut into Horner, and OT picked up his second foul of the night. You've got to be impressed with a guy like John Horner. Most of the advanced billing when this team came into Hallenbeck tonight was for Tim Radosevic, their leading scorer and rebounder, and he's looked pretty good tonight. But Horner, to me, has been far and away the best player on the court for the Saints. And Todd Stein, the other local connection that we talked about, the Cold Spring guard, has not yet scored tonight and has hardly played at all here in the second half for the Saints. Horner now at the line. He'll shoot a pair. Again, he has 20 points to lead Scholastica. Free throw is good. Radosevic with 18 so far on the night. They've been the big two. Only 4 players have scored for the Saints. Second free throw also good. 22 now for Horner, 18 for Radosevic. 8 points for center John Erickson, and then 3 for Scott Chaboti. Nobody else has scored. 71-55 Huskies. Down to that 16-point lead again. That's the closest the Saints have got here in the second half. Left baseline jump shot by Charnowski, no good. Rebound Damaris, clears it ahead. Here's a 2-on-1 break now. Radosevic, bounce pass. Erickson might have gotten away with a walk. As is, he lays it in on the fast break. So it's down to a 14-point lead, and now the Huskies throw it away again. Long front court pass, easily intercepted by Radosevic. That was just sloppiness there by the Huskies. And the Saints work it ahead now, down by just 14. Here's Horner, tries a fadeaway, running Jay from the left baseline, and he is bumped and fouled by Carlson. 3 fouls and marked. That is 26 personal fouls tonight on the Huskies. That is an inordinate amount, to say the least, especially when you consider we've got 6:08 left in the ballgame. They'll pick up a few more before this one's over. Thurston comes out. Carlson also leaves the ball game for St. Cloud State. Kesty checks in. Free throw is up and good by Horner. One more. I guess Thurston will not leave us. He just came over to the sidelines to converse with Butch Raymond. Second free throw is also good. Horner makes them both. So we've got a ball game, folks. 71-59. Scholastica drawing to within 12. 6 minutes left. Huskies front court. Pass down low. Kessler to Charnowski, who hits the fadeaway follow-away jump shot, and he's fouled. Horner at 6'3", trying to defense the 6'7" Charnowski, and Horner picks up his third foul. Basket will count. Charnowski with his first field goal tonight, his third and fourth points, and a chance for the three-point play. Free throw by Haug is good. So that makes it 74-59. The Huskies clamp on the full court press once again. Chabot has it backcourt, working man for man against Thurston. Chabot wheels to his right, brings it in the front court on the pass now to Tamaris. Back to Chabot. Top of the circle plus. Here's Horner. Dribbles to his left off the pick to the baseline. Fall away 16-footer. Rims out. No good. Loose ball rebound. We're controlled finally by the Huskies. Thurston. He'll bring it ahead now in the front court. OT setting the half-court offense. Bounce pass to Kessler on the left wing. Back out to Thurston. Dribbles to the free throw line. Puts it up. He's open. Rims out of there. No good. Rebound loose. Kesty has it. He was tied up. One official calls a foul. The other one jump ball. And the held ball will be the way they'll rule. The Huskies will keep it, though, on the alternate possession with 5:19 left. 74-59. Thurston, left baseline passing, gets it in. Kessler off a pick, open for the three. That's good. They're going to say he had a foot on the three-point line. Two-pointer for Kessler, who's got 22 now. And now on the break, Radosevic lays it in. Again, the Huskies being beaten on that full-court pressure. Radosevic with the easy layup. He now has 20. 76-61 St. Cloud State with 5 minutes remaining in regulation. Thurston in the front court. Out on top, on his dribble. Dishes off right baseline to Scott Springer. Takes two dribbles down the baseline. Double teamed by Radosevic and Damaris. And Springer bounces it off the foot of Radosevic and out of bounds because Scott had nowhere else to go. And now the Saints want to talk about it. They will call their fourth timeout of the night with 4:47 remaining. For 50, Sartell opened its boys swimming and diving season tonight with a 121-57 dual meet victory over Dassel, Cokato, Litchfield. Huskies in the front court. Scott Springer with a power move to the basket. He hits the layup and a foul is called. It's going to be on Erickson. The basket will count. And that, according to our figures, is 5 now on Erickson.
That's his fifth personal foul.
So he's going to fall out of the ball game with 10 points, 5 in each half. And he'll be replaced by Toby Effinger at center. It was a good, hard-nosed move there by Scott Springer, who gets his second field goal tonight. He's got 7 points and a chance for the three-point play after he had been fouled by Erickson. Springer out of Winthrop, Minnesota, trying to give the Huskies an 18-point lead. Free throw is up and good. Three-point play by Scott Springer, and it's 79-61 St. Cloud State with 4:35 left. The Huskies led by as many as 26 in the first half, up by 25 at half, but St. Scholastica got it down to a 12-point margin just a couple of minutes ago before the Huskies have now apparently regained control, and now the Saints turn it over. Offensive foul on Radosevic as he sped down court against full court pressure and was called for a charge. 14 team fouls this half against the Saints. Ball control foul there. So the Huskies do not shoot free throws. Instead, they bring it in the front court in the person of Dean Kessler to Thurston. Open for the three. Shoots and misses off the front rim. Rebound, bounced around, and finally controlled by Springer on the left wing. Now to Kessler, left corner, down the baseline. Shovels in the lane. Charnowski banks it in. Good pass by Kessler. Basket by Charnowski, who has all 6 of his points this half. Now a steal by Springer. Ahead to Thurston. Back to Springer and jams it home. And a foul is called. So the Huskies, after St. Scholastica made its run, now St. Cloud State beginning to reestablish control of this ballgame. Back to an 18-point lead after that slam dunk by Springer off the transition basket. And a chance for the three-point play. That foul was on Effinger, his third. And Springer now with his chance at a second consecutive three-point play. Free throw is up, and it's good. Hit the front rim and crawled over. 84-61 now in favor of St. Cloud State with 4 minutes remaining. Radosevic now dribbles between a couple of Huskies, brings it in the front court. Number 55, Tim Radosevic in the lane, puts it up with the left hand and shovels it in. Used his body well to protect that left-hand shovel shot. Radosevic now with 22, 84-63. Saints down by 19. 21-point margin now for the Huskies. Kessler, he'll shoot the three, right wing, no good. Tap up by Springer, no good. Loose ball, though, controlled by Scott underneath, and he dribbles left to right on the baseline to clear himself. To Sharnowski, open. 13-footer is good from the paint. Sharnowski now with 8. 86-63, St. Cloud State. Backcourt pressure. Horner has it knocked away, but he recovers it still behind the timeline. Now Horner crosses that midcourt stripe in the front court. Dishes off right side to Shibodi. Back to Horner on the right wing. He's open, at least partially, so he puts up a 19-footer. That's no good. Rebound. Orion Thurston has it in heavy traffic. OT clears himself now. Dribbles by Shibodi and brings it into the front half for the Huskies. Thurston out on top, dribbling to his right, goes in the lane, stops, dishes off. Sharnowski wide open, but puts up a flat 15-footer that's short. Rebound, Kesty. Clears it out, left wing to Kessler. Into the corner now. Here's Springer. Dribbles around his man, puts up the 10-foot running J. That's no good. Rebound is loose underneath and controlled by Damaris. So the Saints get it back with 2.5 minutes left. Shibodi shuffles into the front court on his dribble. Veers off to the right. Dishes off right wing side. Here's Horner, and as he made his move to the basket, trying to dump it underneath, it was knocked away and out of bounds. The Saints down 86-63, 2:20 left. Radosevic has it, high post left, dribbles into the left corner, guarded by Kramer. Radosevic tries to muscle his way down the baseline, brings it back out to Shibodi. Now to Horner, puts up a 20-footer, yes. Barely rippled the net. They'll say that's a two-pointer for Horner, who's really lit it up. He's got 24 tonight. He and Radosevic have been virtually all the scoring for the Saints. 86-65, Huskies. Baudette puts it up. Long jump shot by Chris outside the free throw lane. No good. Akravic clears the rebound, brings it out to 18 feet, shovels up a shot that won't go. Rebound, Kesty. Gets it down low. Right block. Jump hook by Baudette. No good. Taps it up and no good. Missed his own follow-up. And now Akravic has it. He tries a three from the right wing, and that one also misfires. So the Huskies had, I believe, 5 shots at the basket. That trip down. Couldn't make any of them. And with a minute and a half left, the Saints come back the other way. And drawing a foul now is Horner. He'll go to the free throw line as that foul was on Akravic. First foul tonight on Brian Akravic.
Number 35, Scott Beach, reporting into the Saints.
And Horner will be at the free throw line. Horner with 26 points so far tonight. First free throw is no good. Radosevic has 22. So between those two, they've got 48 of the Saints' 65 points. Second free throw is good by Horner. So 27 now for him. 86-66. Thurston loses the ball out of bounds as he slides, or not Thurston rather, but Lee. Steffen slid into the St. Scholastica bench under good full court pressure by Shibodi, who forced the turnover. So the Saints get it back down by 20. Closing moments of what will be a non-conference win for the Huskies, and Lee is called for the foul as he tried to cut in and go for the steal against Horner. So Horner will shoot some free throws. Combined of the night, 28 fouls against the Huskies, 22 against St. Scholastica. So that was the game's 50th foul. Free throw is up and no good. One more coming for Horner, and that one's in and out. That also missed, and the loose ball rebound controlled by Akravic. Here come the Huskies with a minute 15 left to go. Akravic has it stolen away at the timeline. Horner back the other way, lays it up and off. No good. Gets his own rebound and banks it in. So Horner just keeps working. This game is over, folks, but he's got 29 points. Now Lee back the other way, puts it up, and hits the running J. Steffen Lee with his first two. It's 88-68. Huskies under 1 minute left. Radosevic now to the front court. It's schoolyard ball right now. Everybody just getting the points. Radosevic brings it out, fires up a three. That's no good. Loose ball rebound controlled by Effinger. Puts a follow-up in. Wow, what a move. Not Effinger. Correction, that was, I believe it was Mies who had that basket on a real tough follow-up. Now three-point attempt by Steffen Lee, and he is fouled. Shibodi picks it up. And that'll be 5 on Shibodi, who falls out with just 3 points. One of the starters. He'll be replaced by Phil Appicelli. And at the free throw line to shoot, I believe a two-shot foul will be Stephen Lee. One of our rules changes this year is that if you are fouled in the act of shooting a three-point attempt and are fouled, you get 3 free throws. But they ruled that he was inside the arc or on it, and Lee will shoot 2 here. Free throw is good. Stephen has 3 points. In addition to the Huskies, other North Central Conference men's basketball teams in action tonight include South Dakota State. They're at Wisconsin Parkside. Morningside playing Division I Northern Iowa tonight. Second free throw by Lee is no good. Rebound Radosevich with half a minute left. Tim's into the front court, dumps it off. Horner, left corner jumper, in and out. Rebound, a battle underneath. The ball still loose, finally recovered by Baudette. Gets it off with 20 seconds left to Kessler. Now Lee will come into the front court. Lee penetrates, puts up the running jump shot, and it goes down. Stephen Lee with some late points. He's got 5 now. 91-70 St. Cloud State. Just 5 seconds left. The Saints inbound it. Radosevich has it. He'll shovel it up from midcourt at the buzzer. And that's the ball game. So it got a little bit ragged in the second half for St. Cloud State. The Huskies, after a solid first half effort, I think lost their concentration a little bit in the second half, but they recovered in time to post a convincing 91-70 win over St. Scholastica. We'll have a wrap-up here in a moment as we continue with St. Cloud State Husky basketball.
Hi, everybody. It's Larry King in Washington. Please make a note to join us tonight for the Larry King Show. Our special guest this evening is Kenneth Woodward. Mr. Woodward is religion editor of Newsweek magazine. He's also author of the new book,